Welcome to TRADEREP. This is Short Hammer. It is the 7th of October, 2019, and we're taking a peek at Amazon. This is Amazon's daily chart. If we look at Thursday, we had a strong bounce from the 1680s. And if we look at the last time that we were down this low, we went to the 1670s, I believe. And that's where we rallied and had this nice run. It's just interesting. So if you look at Amazon right now, why did we bounce? We bounced because at the beginning of the week we had bad economic data, and the bad economic data that we received on Thursday created I'd say a thesis in the market similar to the thesis that we had here and the thesis that we had here, which is that bad data is good for the market because it increases the probability of interest rate cuts. So the Fed's funds futures, if you look at the probability at some point during these days went up around, I think, over 85 to 90%. And that's the probability that there will be interest rate cuts. So the market's rallying because they expect interest rate cuts, which means more easy money. But what's interesting is that not only did the bonds, or TLT, because that's the one that I watch, TLT rally, but so did banks. Banks were also going up, and the market's going up, which is interesting on interest rate cuts. Everything should not be moving up together. So that's something that's interesting to watch. Also, there's so much news floating where the movements in the market are very variable. We have the trade war stuff floating. We have political news floating. We have the interest rate cut news floating. And then we have the economic data. We have what's going on with companies as far as their profitability. And so there are a lot of different stories that are out there that are floating. So just be careful in your positions and your sizing that you don't go in too heavy on a position expecting something, and then the news may change the direction of the market and you can get caught. So make sure you're managing your risk and watching your stops and not hesitating to scale out when you get an opportunity. So my expectation of Amazon this week, if the market remains bullish and Amazon remains trending in this upwards direction, I'll be watching the 1740s. If we look back here, we were in this, I'll call it a bit of a channel from, what date is this? From the 5th of August all the way until the 24th of September, I'll say, where we were bouncing in the 40s, pushing up to the 1833s, and we were stuck in this area where we weren't able to get out of it. Now we've gotten out of it. And here you saw we dropped, then we tried to rally back into it, and we rejected to the downside. So what I'm watching here is this line here is the upper portion of a channel that goes back to before 2016. And let me zoom out so I can show you this channel because it's actually pretty interesting. Okay, come on. So this is a channel. And if you look at the interactions, this was the interaction with the top of that channel in June 3rd. And we can go back, interaction here on the 8th of March. All these different interactions, when we touched it, we've pushed up significantly. Interactions here on the 12th, 13th of February. Oh, that's 2019. And this was a deepest push into the channel since we broke it. This is the 24th of December, 2018. This was a test of it on the 20th of November, 2018. And this area here, the 3rd of October 2018, and you see each one of these pushes down. Look at the buyback up, the rally from the pushes down into the rallies that we've been on. And so this is how far back this channel, it goes back even further. You're watching this channel, and when we finally broke it here. So that to me is the importance of this channel, that historically interactions with it have caused a strong reaction in Amazon. So what I'm watching for Amazon this week is, do we regain the bottom of this channel to 1740s? One, that's check one. Check two, do we get over the 1756s, this SD line? If you look, since we've gone below it, we've struggled to have multiple days above. So back test here. So what we're watching for is regain 1740s, then a push into the supply demand zone over the supply demand line, the 1756s. Then we have to get through, for me, the top of this channel and close above, and have the next day be a bullish day above it. And we still have the 1792s, 1798s, and 1805s here, which to me is all, these are supply demand levels, but these are supply demand levels where we should see sellers battle the buyers if we make it that high. So that's what I'm watching for Amazon this upcoming week. Let's take a peek at the 5-minute chart. Where's our 5-minute chart? I think that's our 5-minute chart. So on our 5-minute chart, looking at the lower time frame, the main intraday pivot for Monday is at 1733. So I'll watch to see if we have a pullback to the 1733 area, and keep an eye on the 1731.80, because that was an area that we had issues breaking on Friday. And when we got above, we kind of started to push to the upside. So I'll be watching these levels if we get a pullback for them to hold. And if these levels hold, I'll see if buying takes us back above the 1735.64. And if we can leg and make new highs and squeeze and run up into the 1740s. If we just at the open are, or should I say pre-market, are running nonstop, then I'll also be watching for the 1740s regain and 1756s, and seeing if there's an intraday scalp available on Amazon. But those are the levels I'm watching on Amazon going into the beginning of the week and going into Monday. And we'll see what the reaction to whatever the news will be. I believe today may be the last day of the Chinese Celebration National Day. I think this is the last day, and I believe the Jewish holidays are over this week. So this should be an interesting week where we should start to see people taking positions for the quarter. It's a new quarter. And we should start to see people taking positions and just really seeing which direction the market is trending in going forward. And also in preparation for the FOMC this month. So it is going to be an interesting week and an interesting month that's going to be really important for the going into the end of the year, as far as how the big money and how people are positioning themselves to be profitable and to make money headed into the end of the year. So definitely keep an eye on that. Amazon has earnings at the end of this month, so there's definitely a lot that we should see, a lot of movement that we should see within Amazon.